BoomCo Colossal Blitz review. This blaster firing BoomCo darts is a 72 round capacity flywheel full auto select fire blaster. Very cool. I've been waiting for it for a while, so here's the review. Included is the blaster itself, 2 parts that are detached, 2 drums, a ton of BoomCo darts, and the instructions and the BoomCo targets. To access the battery tray, loosen these 2 screws and then pry off the plate. It takes 6 C batteries. You're not supposed to mix battery brands, but I don't have 6 of one type, so deal with it. Going over the externals, starting with the front. No attachment point or anything. It is a BoomCo blaster. They don't do that. Up top is a sling mount. Down here is a BoomCo tack rail. Up here is another BoomCo tack rail. This guy doesn't move or anything. It's just a nice, comfortable forward grip. Down below, another BoomCo tack rail. Yeah, rails are kind of everywhere. I don't even know what you would put on that rail, but it's really cool that they're like, hey, consumer, you can decide for yourself. We're not going to make that decision for you. Thanks for the options, BoomCo. Then moving up to these things, these are the drums. Each of them holds 36 darts each, just to be clear. So you have 72 darts ready to go. Yeah, talk about excessive. 36 rounds is a lot. 72? I mean, come on, that's insane. It is worth noting these are detachable. They aren't supposed to be permanent. You can depress this little button and that one and slide the whole cylinder out, but it's not engineered to do that on the field or while you're actually nerfing. Just saying it's possible, but anyways, to load up these massive cylinders, you can slide in BoomCo tarts from the top. If you can see this plastic shield here, this restricts access, so you can't actually load the cylinder cleanly from back here. If you want to be fancy like that, you can, but I'd recommend just going in from up here. You can rotate the cylinder in order to load. They rotate together, but that's only in single fire mode. When you're in full auto mode, it doesn't work. Very cool capacity though. Moving back, another BoomCo tack rail, of course, over top of a carry handle, which is definitely helpful because this is pretty heavy, especially with the batteries. Then moving down on the other side, there is a selector switch. Yeah, a freaking selector switch. Not like a Stampede, an on-off switch. That's not actually a selector switch, really. This goes from single fire to full auto mode. Freaking tactical, BoomCo, that's awesome. Surprisingly, no off button though, so you can always rev, assuming you have batteries in there. This is a flywheel blaster, so you do have to pre-rev by pulling this one, if you can hear the motors spinning. And after that has been revving, then you pull the primary trigger. If you've used any of the Nerf flywheel blasters, it feels the exact same, and the operation is very similar. Moving down to the grip. It is a BoomCo grip, meaning it's a little bit small and a little bit alienating to adults, and it's not especially comfortable for long periods of time. If it were a pistol, this grip would be fine, but this blaster is big, it's pretty heavy, and it's a little bit more difficult to balance because it's so massive. So that's when having a small grip really hurts you. You could put the same grip on a pistol, and I'm pretty sure they have, and it's fine, but on a big gun, it's worth complaining about. I know kids are like, oh, but Coop, you're an adult, stop complaining, wah, 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 it's designed for children. Yeah, I'm allowed to complain. It's my YouTube channel. And there are plenty of large or, adult or heck, college kids playing Nerf guns, so that's who I make my videos for, come on. Moving up to the back, it doesn't have a stock attachment point because it's a BoomCo gun and they don't have that, but it does have serrations here as if that's supposed to be a stock, but maybe a little too small. Or perhaps my proportions are just weird and it's designed for hobbits or something, I don't know. BoomCo's goofy, man. Not in a bad way. Goofy is always good. I mean, come on. That is it for the externals. Again, you load in the cylinders. It takes a while to load because 72 darts. They don't load themselves and it's not especially fast, but then you just pull down the rev trigger, pull the trigger, and it fires. Pretty easy to use. Single fire mode. Going into full auto mode, I'll just hold down the trigger. In full auto mode, you can still manage single fire. Fully loaded up, I'm going to completely wreck that door. Dude needs to call his hits, what the F? Sorry in advance, camera. So yeah, this is a ton of fun to use. It takes forever to load, and I need to repeat myself over and over here because it just takes such a long time. If you play with other kids, they're gonna have to wait on you to load, so it is a big deal. But after you have it loaded up, just to go full auto, 72 rounds, oh my gosh, it's so much fun. It's like you just have this massive load just built up, and then all of a sudden you just go boom, and you just release it all over everyone. Oh man. You see what I did there? The rate of fire is definitely pretty good, but you can see that in the video, but the velocity is a little bit under the BoomCo norm. It's not substantial, but it is worth noting, and I'm sure you can see that in the firing test. They just don't fire quite as hard as other BoomCo blasters. So now to my overall personal opinion on this blaster, entirely subjective, I have to preface. I really like the blaster. It's a ton of fun to use. I have to point out the 2.5 huge cons. First, cost. I paid $90 US. Prices around the world vary, but that's what I paid. So cost is massive. Can you have fun with a much less expensive blaster? Absolutely. $90 US is a ton of money in the realm of like the Rhino Fire. I would definitely pick this over the Rhino Fire any day of the week. I have a whole lot more fun shooting this than the Rhino Fire, but that's just my opinion again. Other than cost, second huge con, it takes forever to load this thing. That's a given nature of any high capacity blaster. If it's a single shot blaster, it takes, 1 unit of time to load. If it has 72, it might take 72 times longer. Not always, but and the non-detachable turrets means after you're empty, you can't just tactically reload into an external box mag or whatever. You have to sit there and load that. So if you run this as your primary, run it with a sling and a backup when you run out of ammo. Just my opinion there. And the third con is the grip. I don't really like it. It is a big blaster. It has 6D batteries, so it is pretty heavy. And to hold all of that on a grip that is very small and not especially comfortable based on its geometry, that's a con for me. Other than the grip, the other ergonomics are great. So to the pros, ergonomics are fun. It looks sweet. It's super intimidating. Holy crap, 72 full auto rounds. It's a ton of fun to use. And my absolute favorite thing, it's not the full auto, it's not the huge capacity, the friggin' selector switch. Oh man, that's awesome. Selector switches are the bee's knees, my man, because full auto is awesome to have, but you don't want it all the time or you're gonna blow your whole load way too quickly, and that is never a good thing. So to have the option to go to semi and then you're like, oh, I need to slay a bunch of zombies, like a whole horde, switch into full auto and just spray them down, switch back to semi and go back to, regular fire. You might say, oh, just get full auto and just use trigger discipline. Yeah, I want to hand you a blaster with 72 darts with full auto and see you use trigger discipline when you see multiple targets. You're just going to start spraying. Everybody does it. It's not a bad thing. It's perfectly ordinary, but to be able to switch that to mechanical semi-auto so you cannot use full auto until you consciously make that decision again is a great practical feature. Nerf, if you watch my videos, a rapid strike with a selector switch, that would make my Christmas so awesome, my man. So the blaster is definitely not for everyone. It's expensive, it takes forever to load, but it's a ton of fun. So hopefully I've given you everything you need to know whether or not you want to purchase one. The firing video alone, if you want one, you'll know it right off of that. But yeah, I purchased this at a physical local Target, like I walked into the store. Yeah, I haven't had to do that for a while, but I couldn't find it online. When it is available online, I'll put a link in the description box. That concludes my review and opinion. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.